All right, this is Behind the Hood with Kentucky Welding Institute, and part of our Visiting Grads podcast. I'm Bobby Pease, Christian, husband, father, director of education at the Kentucky Welding Institute. And today we're going to join Landon Earlywine in his fab shop up in Logansport, Indiana. It's his first job where he's pulling over $3,000 a week fresh out of Kentucky Welding Institute. All right, let's get with this, man. So this is Bobby on the KWI podcast. This is Landon Earlywine, fresh graduate from Kentucky Welding Institute, and already on the road. Now, Landon, you came to KWI with quite a bit of welding experience, yes?
Yes, sir.
And so you had welded all processes, pretty much all positions. You had gone through the ringer?
Yeah, in high school we done all four positions, 60-10, 70-18, a little bit of TIG and combo plate, not really much pipe.
Yeah, awesome. And then familiar with you, you've done X plates too then, right? I mean, your TIG hand, left and right-handed on that X plate. X plates were like 2 inches deep, 8 or 9 inches long, and you had to left and right hand dry wash first, and then 3-wire, and then 1/8-inch wire, yes?
Yes, sir. There's a lot of wire into the X plate.
And so, honestly, you kind of got sick of it.
Yeah, running about 250 amps just shoving the wire in there.
But once you hit KWI, did all that come full circle?
Yeah, once I hit KWI, it helped me out so much. Like there's other people that started with me that had been welding a little bit, but I just not trying to talk myself up or nothing, but I blew past them because I had so much more experience coming into KWI.
Yeah. So essentially that TIG rig became an extension of you. You were just very comfortable with it, left or right-handed. And a lot of guys who maybe didn't have that kind of discipline in high school or previous training, they had to catch up, learn that kind of stuff. And most of that's just putting in the reps. If you're disciplined and you just do that, there's no way really to get around that. I mean, you can be naturally skilled, but to have it as a second nature, it just comes down to doing it.
Yeah, just putting in the reps, a lot of reps.
All right, so you golden armed at KWI. What were your golden arm certs?
I golden armed with the Chrome Combo Monster and Skid 10 Inconel.
Skid 10 Inconel, Chrome Monster. Now, what was that Chrome Monster like?
It ran just like carbon. A lot of it did.
Yeah, so...
they to restrict me, they put me on top of the, not on top of it, but like they have a dome thing there. And then they put me on top of the dome, in between the platform and the dome, and made me take my Monster in there.
Did you not take one of your tests on the slope in the boiler?
Yeah, I had to take my Skid 10 Inconel on the in the boiler. Well, on the slope, yeah. So, with a restriction ring.
With the restriction ring. That's good stuff, though. I mean, and now you're in a fab shop, right? Just doing rollouts, socket welds. And all that has to just feel completely comfortable and natural to you.
Yeah, it's all in a jack stand.
Yeah.
All rollout.
All right, so first job out, if I'm understanding this correctly, KWI got the phone call maybe, and Andrew Hildebrand picks it up, and they need a welder. Andrew looks through, and his job, as all the instructors, is to weigh their options. What students are floating to the top. Maybe who's got good attendance, who's a great worker, who's skilled, and you're a golden arm. So somehow you got the bid, right? Andrew said, "Hey, Landon, I'd like to throw you on this job."
Well, what really happened, I had been talking to Grayson Dales about getting on a job. He said he might know some. So he said, I'll talk to some people I know and let you know. So he talked to Andrew, and Andrew told me that this job had got posted about 4 weeks ago, a month ago or something like that, for 34 and 120. And then he didn't say nothing about it. And then Grayson was talking to him that next day after I texted Grayson. He said, yeah, I just got a job text about in Logansport, Indiana, welding stainless or carbon. There's a stainless shop and a carbon shop. I'm in the stainless shop. But they was paying 38 and 120 now, and they need somebody up here by tomorrow. I left that night, went to Indianapolis, and then tested at 7 in the morning.
What was that like for you as far as so you left that night, and it's not a far stretch, right? I mean, so from KWI to Indianapolis, 3.5, 4 hours?
3.5 hours it was 3 hours to the testing location, and then from the testing location to the job site was an hour and a half.
Hour and a half. Nice. And then what was that like? I mean, how are your nerves at this point? This is your first job, right? And you're 3.5 hours out of your hometown. You're in a different state. You got to meet different people. What was that like?
It wasn't too bad. The hardest part is trying to find a hotel where I'm 18. I called like 20 hotels. Finally found one. I left the house at 7:30. Got down here at 10, and then went to bed. Woke up at 6 o'clock. Went and tested. It was a little nervous, obviously. It's the first one, and then first one out of KWI testing, and then after that, I went in there, tested. I had another boy testing with me. I didn't have a pair of snips. I forgot my snips for cutting my wire and stainless and stuff. And he had a pair. He let me borrow that. He needed a crescent wrench. We both just helped each other out. It was a little.
And so what was the test?
It was a Sked 10 stainless in 5G, and then Sked 80 stainless TIG out, and then Sked 80 carbon TIG out, all in 6G position.
Okay. And then how? Showing up in the morning, you said you showed up at 7. Did they start with the weld test? Did they start with the drug test? How did it all go out?
I got there it was about 6:50. I had to wait about 30 minutes on the guy to get there. So then we went over there. They had the pieces prepped except for the Sked 10. I had to hand bevel them myself. And then after that, we started the test. And once we finished the test, it's got 90 minutes per test, but obviously it's just 2-inch schedule 80 and Sked 10, so it didn't take the full 90 minutes. And we got done, put it on his desk, done another one. And when we got done, they came and got us. We went up top to the room for orientation videos. And then after we done the orientation videos, we went and done our drug test.
Now, you said something pretty cool. You said that you had to prep your own. I find that interesting because there are some schools popping up that give you clean machine beveled stuff. How appreciative were you of KWI essentially giving you some light pipe fitting experience when you showed up?
Yeah, like right before I left KWI, all I was doing is Sked 10 because I was doing that Sked 10 Inconel and Sked 10 stainless. It's the last certification. And I had done a lot of Sked 10. They had a rollout wheel at KWI. I didn't use it much because people was always using it, burning it up, because the people would wait for that thing. And I wasn't waiting on it, so I just went on over to the pipe stand, jack stand, and just done it myself a hand bevel. And it worked out really good for the test because I had done it so much.
Now, do you have any tricks? You're looking for 37.5 degrees. Is there anything you're looking for to make sure you're putting the right bevel on?
Nah, I was just going at it.
Just eyeball, is it?
Yeah, just not too much where I just cap it right off the root, but just enough to where I can get it.
Yeah. You could take 2 nuts and weld them together, and then that angle you can check. Drop on the pipe and that.
We used that at KWI once. I tried that.
Yeah. And then once you get those 2, I don't know, 3/4 inch nuts tacked together, drop them in your job box. You got them for life, and you can always check your fit. But yeah. All right. So now you're on the job. You've been there for how long?
This will be my second full week, but 3 weeks technically.
3 weeks technically. And you had given me some numbers, and I went ahead and pumped in. I'm going to go to my screen here in a second. And so, Landon, how old are you?
18. I just turned 18 in March.
Just turned 18 in March. And if I'm not mistaken, you said that your hourly rate was $38 an hour.
38,
right?
Yes, sir.
Which puts your overtime rate at 57. And you're pulling 70 hours a week right now?
Monday through Friday, 12s, and then Saturday, 10-hour shift. Off Sunday.
So 60 and then 10 is 7. Yeah, I know, off Sunday. So you're bringing in $1,520 of regular pay. You're bringing in $1,710 on overtime, and then your per diem. And we had talked to this ahead, but you had mentioned that they only pay the per diem on the days you're working, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and that's not a bad gig for what you're making. Sometimes you'll hear some welders get sticky over that. You want to call ahead and ask them, or maybe even you request you want per diem all 7 days because you're going to be living out of town all 7 days, right?
Yeah.
So, but in your instance, man, fresh out the gate, you're grossing $3,950 a week in a fab shop during the cold months, right? I mean, you're northern Indiana right now. I'm guessing she's snowed a little bit, or you're definitely 30, 40 degrees in the morning, and you're in a heated environment. And
it was 40 degrees this morning.
Yeah, and then if I'm not mistaken, and I just kind of guessed at this, and you said you got your first paycheck, but I'm going to guess that your federal is around $800, Kentucky tax, $160, Social Security, Medicare. You're probably bringing home right at $2,600 a week.
It came out to be $2,912.
Oh, not bad.
Yeah.
I was a little more aggressive than. So you made $2,900 net.
Yeah.
Direct deposit into your 18-year-old bank account, checking account. Well, how many weeks? How long do you think you'll be up there?
I don't know. It's supposed to last. It was supposed to be over by. We're supposed to have. I got 9,000 pieces of 2-inch scheduled for it. It's got to be done by December, but I'd say we only got 2,000 of them done, and there's only 2 of us welding on them. And then I think the
Gotcha.
jobs, they got 2 years worth of work lined up, and they'll take you on to another job if you stay with them, work good and stuff. And then I think this job's supposed to last 6 months.
6 months. So let's just
Yeah.
say 6 4s. If we're doing some, so that'd be what, 24 weeks maybe.
Yeah.
And if we can multiply that out, equals this times. I'm gonna have to find this on this Mac times. I mean, but you're gonna be making easy. I mean, you'll break your 100,000 in 6 months, then, won't you?
I think gross would be like 106. We figured up in 6 months.
Yeah. So what are you gonna do with all this money, man? What's the game plan, finance wise? What are you thinking?
Well, right now I plan on saving up my first 7,000, putting in a Roth IRA for the first year. That way I get that started, and then I'd like to save up 20 or 40,000 somewhere's in there to buy not a good reliable truck, and then that's it right now.
Yeah, I think you're making some smart moves. A lot of people would say do your emergency fund first, but man, you can always do an emergency fund, and emergencies do pop up, but what you can't get back is the time. And so right now, 2025 is getting ready to wrap up. Of course, you could contribute to your Roth IRA up until April 15th, but 2025 is about to wrap up. If you could lock in the 7,000, then you can buy that year, essentially, and start investing. After that, do you plan on keep doing large lump sums of 7,000, or are you going to hook up with your CFP, Certified Financial Planner, and do a monthly contribution, or what do you think?
I ain't thought about that much, really. I thought about doing the 7,000 just at one time, but I'm afraid I'd forget it or something. I don't think I would, but just that chance of forgetting, and that way I just go on. If I had to do the monthly thing, it automatically come out. I know it's going in there. I have enough to budget it out. That way I got it in there, I know. That way at the end of the year, well, I guess right before April 15th, I'm not rushing around looking for $7,000 if I ain't got it.
Yeah, and typically we're going to spend what we make. So if you put that first 7,000 down with your certified financial planner, whatever IRA you're looking for, and then just go ahead and have them kickstart it. Every month, and you can pick it. If you get paid on the 10th and the 20th, or every week, you can tell them what day you want, and then just draft out the $583.33. And that way, monthly, you don't even see that money, so you don't think about it. You don't spend it if you don't see it, and it's going into your Roth IRA. Yeah, excellent. So what have you done anything else to, you've maximized how much money you can make. That's where you're at on the road right now, making about $4,000 a week. There are some tips and tricks you can do and tell others as far as bring your expenses down. Right now, you're running with a roommate, right? A weld partner.
I got this job, and then they didn't need no more welders at the time. And then about my first week here, a guy got fired, a fitter quit, and then another guy drug up. So I texted Taylor, was my recruiter, and I told him, I said, I knew another guy, if y'all need more welders. He said, all right, I'll let you know if we do or not. And he did, so I gave him, he wanted Jackson's number. He called Jackson's my buddy, and got him down here. And before I didn't know what I was doing just yet with the hotel, so I didn't want to buy a week, or just wanted to play it out for the first week. So I didn't pay for a full week by myself. So then Jackson came down here, and it was my last night that I had to redo, and I was going to go pay for a week that time. And Jackson was on his way down here, passed the weld test, came down here with me, and now we're sharing a room. It comes out to be $306 a week per person, I think. So it's like $550 something actually for a week. And I was paying a week. I'll pay a week, then he'll pay a week. That way we just ain't got to split no cash, pull no cash out up here, or nothing, pay each other.
Yeah, that ain't bad at all. So, you're bringing in $720 for per diem, which is typically what that's for. And so about half your per diem on your hotel. So now you got gas money, food money. And if you can live lean, if you can put any of that per diem back, then you're dollars ahead as far as your goals, your long-term goals. You're in Indiana right now. That's not where your family's at, right? Where you're originally from?
From Kentucky.
Yeah. So you're out of state. You might as well be working, and that whole time, instead of having fun or living it up, you might as well be stuffing that bank account as much as you can. So, and what are your 5 and 10 year goals? What are you hoping for 10 years down the road? So Landon's 28. Where are you going to be in life?
5 years, I'd like to save up enough money to buy, have a down payment, I guess, or at least half, something like that. I ain't for sure yet. To buy a car wash or a laundromat or storage units or rental property, something like that. That way, and then go back on the road 5 more years and finish paying them off, and hopefully they'll end up paying for themselves by then. And then I'll just come home and maybe work at IFM for a little bit, because it's right there in my hometown if I have to or need to. But I plan on just having those 2 businesses, 1 or 2 of them, That way I ain't got to stay on the road until I'm 60 and living it up.
Yeah. So your idea then is to generate your income off your employment and then invest in passive income streams, is what you're saying.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's intelligent, and you have to stick to those though. Those goals. A lot of guys in the first 3 to 5 years, they buy liabilities. You know, they buy trucks that cost money and insurance and tires. They buy razors that break and bust and tear up. You know, a lot of fun toys. Don't get me wrong. That's all good. You got to live life. But at the same time, those things are bleeding your cash, and you're going to flip this then upside down. You're going to start looking for and investing in assets that will make you money, and then you can live that lifestyle you want later down the road. And I think your future family and children will be thanking you for your smart decisions early on in your career. That's sharp moves, sharp moves. All right, so is the company okay? Can you flash us around the shop there and give us a look-see? Yeah, where are we at?
So like here's the schedule 40, just putting a flange onto some 2-inch. And then there's all of them I've welded out and stuff before, different group numbers.
So are you signing all these welds? Are you putting your welder stencil on this?
Yeah, I got to put a stencil on it. And some of them like
what's your stencil?
It's 26P. And all these are getting ready to
26P.
get checked. And then those that's wrapped up over there, they've already been checked and ready to send out. And here's some 8-inch they're building. There's some 3 more pieces of 8-inch. Just all kinds of it, stainless.
And then you guys had mentioned having to do production reports, essentially, that your fitter keeps track. What's your production count? What do you got to put out every day?
We got to have at least 60 inches a day. I've been averaging around 70 to 80. And we just take the paper to the blueprint drawing to our fitter, writes down how many inches it is, keeps tracks of all of that, and then turns it into the foreman.
What about the blueprints? You're required at your level then to read prints? You got ISOs or weld symbols? What do you?
So there's
facing?
We got fitters, like for the 2-inch, there's 2 guys over there right there actually, and they'll tack it all up, make sure it's all level, and then they'll sit it over here in the line with the drawings. I'll show you. With the drawings in them like that, and then we'll come pick them up, take them to our spot, weld them out, and then take the paper to our fitter, and he'll keep track of it. Now, like for the 8-inch or 6-inch, the fitter, they'll go get all the pipe and stuff for you, and they'll fit it all up and everything, and you just tack it for them and then weld it.
So you getting along with your fitters?
Yeah, I like my fitter pretty well. He's actually gone today and tomorrow. He went to Indianapolis.
Age-wise, what's the gap there? Is he quite a bit older than you are? Or?
He's probably in his 60s, I'd say. So, yeah.
So what's that like, I guess? How's he taken to you being 18 and fresh?
Well, at first he was, like, kind of rough on me, and then, like, we started talking to each other and, like, figuring out each other how it is, and he's a pretty cool guy. A lot of these people up here is pretty cool. I ain't really mad at nobody that dislikes me. There's a guy up here that actually went to KWI in 2022, and he helped me out a lot, like, really a lot with some stainless, and then... Yeah, he's just pretty cool people up here.
Now, what about paperwork outside of that? Do you have JSAs? What's the safety meeting look like in the mornings, or hot work permits? What kind of things are you doing there?
We haven't signed nothing like that. We ain't done nothing. The welders, the foreman takes care of all that.
And then what's the clock in, clock out procedure look like for you guys there?
We just show up at 6, the foreman writes it down. We showed up at 6, and then we leave at 6. He just writes it down. Yeah.
How far away is the hotel?
It was 8 minutes.
Well, that ain't bad at all. So what's your routine? What's your routine looking like right now?
So we'll wake up about 5 o'clock and then get ready, get a shower and all that. Wait till about 5:40. Leave the hotel, get here about 5:50, we'll say, and then we'll come in here and just get all of our leads ran, all of our stuff ran, ready to go for the day. And then we get a 15-minute break at 9 o'clock. And then we get a 30-minute lunch at 12 o'clock. And we get another 15-minute break at 3 o'clock. And we're off at 6. And when we get off at 6, we'll usually go back to the hotel. Might run to Walmart or something because it's like 2 minutes down the road from the hotel. And then we're usually in bed about 9:30, 10 o'clock. And wake up again at 5 o'clock and do it all over again.
Nice. And then what about laundry? I mean, you're off on your own. I'm sure your mama took care of you most of your life. How's that working for you?
I actually got pretty lucky. I wasn't even thinking about looking for one up here with a laundry or a washer and dryer in it, but the hotel actually has one in it. You just have to use quarters to pay for it.
All right, so you just find a bank on your lunch break or something like that and just buying rolls of quarters?
I had cash I brought down with me, and I just went to the car wash because there's a car wash right down the road, stuck the change in there, the money, and spits me out quarters. I go back to the hotel. Every Sunday we do our laundry.
All right. So you got a week's worth of clothes, and on Sundays you're just spending your day off catching up.
Yeah, pretty much.
Resting up, and resetting for the next week. How's the food? What are you doing for breakfast in the morning?
Breakfast, we usually don't eat breakfast. Sometimes they'll bring breakfast pizza in for us here. Sometimes, every now and again, very rarely, but they do. And then breakfast, we might grab a honey bun or a Nutri-Grain bar or something like that on the way out.
And then lunch?
Lunch, we ain't started packing our lunch yet, but we ain't really got a big enough fridge to put nothing in. But
and then what are you guys doing for dinner? What's it looking like?
Dinners, sometimes, most of the time, it's pizza rolls and ranch because it's 10 minutes in the air fryer, $10 for 130 of them, and a jug of Milo's sweet tea or water.
So you guys have an air fryer and you plug it up at the hotel and your air fryer?
Yeah, we bought an air fryer, split it. It was $60. We both paid $30. So we just roll in like that.
Just eating pizza rolls. You and Jackson eating pizza rolls.
Pretty much.
So have you figured out? I know you haven't been there long, but if you're making $720 in per diem and you're out $310 right off the rips, you got $410 left, I guess. Fuel back and forth 8 minutes. That's got to be cheap. Heck, you could probably jog if you wanted to.
I drove down here 4.5 hours. Filled a truck up in Maysville, Kentucky. It's like 15 minutes from 15 minutes from KWI 20, and then filled up there, and then drove all the way up here and drove a week and a half to work and didn't put no gas in at all until the one Tuesday I got off after work. I went and put gas in it, and I ain't put gas in it since, and still got a quarter of a tank. So
you feel like you're doing pretty good as far as saving money?
Yeah, oh yeah.
That's good. That's good. Now, when will you gotta have to schedule an appointment, I guess, to come back and set up your Roth IRA? Have you called ahead? Because we're getting to the end of the year, and I know a lot of people will start using their financial planners at the end, sort of get their taxes straight, that kind of stuff. So it will kind of fill up as far as his time, and you'll only have a slice. I'd imagine you kind of know when your Thanksgiving or Christmas break is, but have you called ahead to reserve yourself a 30-minute or 60-minute meeting with somebody so you can get that thing straight?
No, I haven't.
Well, that's
not
I
yet.
said all that to kind of preface this. You need to be calling those professionals if you're looking for a time, because it won't be something to where you can, you're coming off Indianapolis, coming down for a 2-day, Thursday, Friday, and you call them Thursday and want to come in Friday. It probably won't happen, because everybody and their brother at the end of the year is trying to get some FaceTime with those guys to get their finances straightened out before the fiscal year ends. So make sure you're disciplined, because again, you know how I feel about that Roth IRA. Get that thing in there. Time is your friend there. All right, man. You got anything else for us? What would you recommend? Any tips and tricks for a young guy breaking? If you're talking back to some of your friends at KBI right now, Jansen or Landon or Clayton or Chris or whoever you could. What would you tell them? What would you recommend as they break out and transition into that first job?
Don't stress it out. Just let it play out. It'll be all right. If you get sent home, go find another job.
Well,
I don't know.
Lucky for you, that didn't have to happen, right? I mean,
Yeah.
you put in the work and you passed the test, and now you're pulling the checks. All right, Landon. Well, I appreciate it. I'll let you get back to lunch. Tell the crew up there thank you for showing us around. It's been good.
All right, thank you.
All right, this is Bobby signing off. We appreciate you guys tuning in with us today. Landon's story is simple. Show up with grit, trust God, and go to work. Do the same in your own life. Honor God with all your effort. Protect your family and lead with conviction. Until next time, get after it and get to work.